Now that we know how if statements work, let's take a look at comparison and logical operators. So before I just start typing some stuff, I want to show you a really solid reference for JavaScript, which again, is no surprise, is W3. So we have this list of comparison operators. Right now we're on the page for JavaScript comparison and logical operators. We're just going to start with the comparison operators for now. So we've already seen a few of these where we did greater than, less than, greater or equal than, and less than and equal than. But there's four more here. There's equals equals, equals equals equals, does not equals, and does not equals equals. So this is really confusing. So let's just briefly explain what this is. These first two are almost the same, and same with these two. The difference is double equals means equals to, while equals 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 means equal value and equal type. Well, that's a little confusing at first, so let's just go ahead and test this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to create two variables. Let's just do num1 equals 6 var num2 equals 6. If num1 equals num2, console.log, they're equal. So we'll save it, go back to our page, refresh, and we get a they're equal. And if we do equals equals equals, come back here, we'll refresh, and we get another they're equal. But what happens when we wrap it in a string? Now when we do equals equals, and we save it and test it out, they're equal. When we go back and we do equals equals equals, and we save it, and we refresh, we don't get anything. So when we clear it, it doesn't say anything because we don't have an else saying that they're not equal right now. So if we were just to add that in, just to make it a little bit more clear, save it, go back, refresh, and then we get a they're not equal. And that's simply because they're not the same type. So what the equals equals does is it looks at a string value and then simply just removes it. That's basically how it works. So it basically just doesn't even look at the fact that there's these extra quotes around it and doesn't consider it. So if you want to be safe, for now, you can stick to equals equals. If you do equals equals equals, there's a lot of other issues that are with it. It's kind of like how they read null or undefined. They do it a little bit differently. So you want to be really careful with that. I'd recommend testing out both and kind of seeing how it works. Now, if we do does not equal, and we'll do they're not equal. Otherwise, they're equal. So this one says not equal, but this exclamation point is actually replacing a single equals. All right, so remember that it's actually taking the place of a single equals. So when we go back and we refresh, we get a they're equal. And if we test it again with another equal, so that way this one is 3 equals, but its definition is does not equal, then we get a they're not equal. All right, so you might have noticed that we have a single equal sign, a double equal sign, and 3 equals. So if you have to translate it, equals assigns a value in a variable or to a variable. Equals equals test to see if two values are equal. Equals 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 test to see if two values are equal and are the same type. So numbers have to match numbers, strings have to match strings, and so on. All right, so the last part that we need to cover is the logical operators. So the two big ones that I want to point out, there's definitely a not here that a lot of people use, but really what's going to be really common and you're going to see in a lot of code is and or. All right, so let's go ahead and test this out. So let's say we have a num1 and a num2, and we're going to give num2 to be 10. We'll do if num1 equals 6 and num2 equals 10, then we'll just write in true. If I can click on it. There we go. We'll just write in true. We'll write in just false. So when we refresh, this should be true. So we'll just refresh. There we go. So we get true. So when we go back here, if we change one of these values to say 100, save it, go back, refresh, false. All right, because in order for this to work, both of these have to be true. If, however, we use or, which are just these two bars, go back, refresh, we get true. Because one of them is right. Only one of them has to be right. But if you use the two ampersands, both of them have to be right. So that's basically the comparison and logical operators. Go through, create some if statements, try these out as well. Try out the double equals, the triple equals, less than, greater than, test it out, get really familiar with it.